In the sacred books of different civilizations, there are stories about people chosen by higher powers to fulfill important missions. These are the chosen ones. In this video, we will explore the 9 different types of chosen ones and their respective divine purposes. Since time immemorial, humanity has witnessed the emergence of people with extraordinary gifts, individuals whose very existence seems to be woven into the grand web of destiny. They are those who feel deep within their being that they have come into this world with a greater purpose. Are you one of them? Each of these 9 has been called to play an essential role in a higher plan. The destiny of every chosen one is written in the stars, but they must walk their own path. Get ready to discover yours. 1. The inspiring infiltrator. The inspiring infiltrator is like a seed planted in dry soil. They may not seem to belong to a spiritual mission at first, but over time they grow into a powerful force of inspiration. Their purpose is clear. They are meant to bring divine wisdom into places where it is absent or forgotten. Unlike prophets who stand on mountains and declare great revelations, these chosen ones work from the inside. They move through schools, offices, cities, and homes, touching lives in ways that often go unnoticed. They might be the teacher who encourages a child to believe in themselves, the artist who paints something that awakens hope, or the friend who speaks a single sentence that changes someone's life. They do not preach. Instead, they live in a way that inspires others. Their faith, kindness, and wisdom become like a hidden flame, lighting up hearts wherever they go. Every religion has stories of individuals who were placed in the world to bring light into dark places. In Christianity, we see figures like Joseph in Egypt. Sold as a slave by his brothers, he rose to a position of power and used his wisdom to save nations from famine. He didn't become a preacher, he became an administrator, yet his influence was deeply spiritual. In Hinduism, there is Krishna, who, as a young boy, lived among villagers and played the role of an ordinary cowherd before revealing his divine purpose. In Buddhism, the bodhisattvas take on everyday roles to guide others toward enlightenment without always revealing their true nature. In Islam, the story of the prophet Yusuf, Joseph, mirrors the biblical account. His presence in a foreign land became the reason many were saved from hardship. These figures show that one does not need to be a priest, monk, or guru to fulfill a divine purpose. Sometimes the most powerful chosen ones are those who blend in, influencing others subtly. While their mission is noble, the inspiring infiltrators face unique struggles. Because they often live among people who do not share their inner calling, they can feel isolated. They may long for deeper conversations, but find themselves surrounded by those who only care about superficial matters. Since they do not wear the robes of a religious leader, they may question their own importance. Am I really making a difference? Is a thought that often haunts them. Some people fear change. When an inspiring infiltrator begins to influence others positively, they might face backlash from those who prefer to remain in ignorance or darkness. Their work is slow and invisible. Unlike prophets who perform miracles, their impact is often like water shaping a rock, gentle but unstoppable. Today, inspiring infiltrators are everywhere. They are the nurse who holds a patient's hand and whispers a comforting prayer. They are the social workers who listen deeply and offer hope. They are the musicians whose song lifts someone out of despair. They are the young people who stand up against bullying, even when it's hard. Even in pop culture, we see figures that reflect this role. Think of characters in movies and books who, without seeking glory, become the force that changes everything. These are modern echoes of a timeless spiritual truth. Divine messengers often work from within. If you wonder whether you might be one of these chosen ones, ask yourself, do you often feel like you don't quite belong, yet you know you are where you need to be? Do people come to you for advice, comfort, or wisdom, even when you don't expect it? Have you found yourself in positions where you can influence others positively, even if it's not through traditional spiritual means? Do you believe that change happens not only through grand actions, but also through small moments of kindness and wisdom? If you answered yes to many of these, you might be an inspiring infiltrator, someone placed exactly where they are needed, even if they don't fully understand why yet. The key to fulfilling this role is trusting the process. You may not always see the effects of your influence, but the universe has a way of using you in ways you might never fully grasp. Remember, your presence matters. Even if you don't see immediate results, your kindness and wisdom leave ripples that can touch countless lives. You are not alone. There are other infiltrators out there, all working in different places, all part of the same divine plan. Stay true to your inner light. Even when the world around you seems lost, your quiet presence can bring transformation. The inspiring infiltrator may not have a temple, a title, or a robe, but their mission is sacred. They are living reminders that divinity moves in ways we least expect. Wherever you are, whether in a busy city, a small town, or a foreign land, your role is essential. You are not just living in the world, you are helping to change it, one small act at a time. 2. The truth teller. There are people in this world who seem to have been born with a fire inside them, a relentless need to reveal what is hidden, to uncover the truth no matter how uncomfortable it might be. These are the truth tellers, those who walk a path that is not easy but is absolutely necessary. They are not interested in sugarcoating reality or telling people what they want to hear. Instead, they speak with honesty, even when their words shake the foundations of what others believe. A truth teller often feels like an outsider, someone who sees the world differently than those around them. From a young age, they question things others take for granted. Why do we follow certain rules? Who decided what is right and wrong? Is there something beyond what we are told? These questions never stop coming, and while others might choose to ignore them, the truth teller cannot. They are driven by an unshakable need to get to the heart of things, even if it means facing resistance. The role of a truth teller is both a gift and a burden. On one hand, their words can inspire, liberate, and awaken those who are ready to hear them. They expose injustice, they challenge falsehoods, and they bring light to what has been hidden in the shadows. On the other hand, they often find themselves at odds with society. Many people prefer comfort over truth, illusions over reality. And when a truth teller comes along and starts peeling back the layers, not everyone is happy about it. They might be labeled as troublemakers, rebels, or even threats. It takes immense courage to be a truth teller because the world does not always reward honesty. The road is filled with challenges, misunderstandings, isolation, even persecution in extreme cases. Yet despite these difficulties, they persist. They persist because they know that truth is not just about facts, it is about clarity, about helping people see beyond the illusions they have been taught to accept. Truth, even when painful, is ultimately freeing. In today's world, truth tellers come in many forms. They might be writers, journalists, artists, activists, or simply the person in a friend group who isn't afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. They challenge norms, push boundaries, and refuse to let lies go unchallenged. They remind us that growth comes not from staying comfortable, but from facing reality, no matter how difficult that reality might be. History is filled with truth tellers who have shaken the world. Think of those who have stood up against oppressive systems, exposing corruption and injustice. They were often met with resistance, but their words planted seeds that would later grow into revolutions of thought and change. A journalist who uncovers a major scandal, a scientist who challenges the accepted views of the time, an artist who dares to depict reality as it is instead of how people wish it to be. These are all truth tellers, navigating the difficult road between what is and what should be. A truth teller does not always seek conflict, but conflict often finds them. They might be the student in class who questions the teacher's explanations, the friend who points out when someone is being treated unfairly, or the worker who speaks up when something unethical is happening in the company. Their presence can be unsettling to those who prefer to keep things as they are. But truth has a power that cannot be contained forever. Even if ignored at first, it lingers in people's minds, challenging them to think deeper and question more. This path can be lonely. Many truth-tellers go through phases where they feel like no one understands them. They might lose friendships, face rejection, or struggle with doubt. Is it worth it? Wouldn't it be easier to just stay silent? These questions haunt them, but deep inside, they know that silence is not an option. Their calling is to bring awareness, to shine a light where there is darkness, even if it comes at a personal cost. But there is also great fulfillment in being a truth-teller, the moment when someone finally sees what they have been trying to reveal, when a person's perspective shifts because of something they said. That is the reward. Even if only one person hears them, it can create a ripple effect, spreading truth further than they could ever imagine. In modern times, social media has become both a gift and a challenge for truth-tellers. It provides a platform to reach millions, to expose misinformation, and to share knowledge. But it also comes with its dangers: backlash, misinformation, and the pressure to conform to popular opinions. A truth-teller must learn to navigate this world carefully, staying true to their mission without losing themselves in the noise. For those who feel this calling, the message is clear: keep speaking, even when your voice shakes. Keep questioning, even when others roll their eyes. Keep searching, even when the answers seem elusive. The world needs truth-tellers, now more than ever. And even if the journey is not always easy, the impact of truth is something that lasts far beyond the moment it is spoken. It is easy to think that being a truth-teller means standing on a stage or having a massive audience. But sometimes the most powerful truths are spoken in quiet conversations, in moments of vulnerability, in simple acts of honesty. Telling the truth is not always about changing the whole world at once. It is about planting seeds that will grow over time. The truth-teller is a force of nature, a voice that refuses to be silenced. They are a reminder that reality, no matter how uncomfortable, is always worth facing. And while their path is not always easy, it is always necessary. They walk ahead, not for themselves alone, but for those who will one day be ready to hear what they have to say. Even the smallest truths can make a difference. A simple statement, one that challenges a false belief or offers a new way of seeing things, can change the course of someone's life. A child questioning an unfair rule, a worker exposing wrongdoing, a filmmaker showing reality in a way no one has before. Each act of truth, no matter how small, has a ripple effect. We must remember that truth has its seasons. Sometimes people are not ready to hear it, and that is okay. A truth-teller does not force others to see, they simply shine a light, knowing that in time, people will find their way to it. They trust that even when resisted, the truth has a way of finding those who need it most. And when that moment comes, the truth-teller will have done what they were meant to do, open a door for others to step through into the light of understanding. 3. The confused chosen one. There are those in this world who seem to drift through life, unsure of who they are, why they are here, or what they are meant to do. These are the confused chosen ones, individuals who, despite carrying a deep sense of purpose, feel lost in a world that doesn't seem to recognize or validate their existence. They are aware that something about them is different, but they can't quite put their finger on what it is. From childhood, the confused chosen one may have sensed they were meant for something greater. Perhaps they felt an unshakable connection to something beyond the physical world, or maybe they experienced moments of intuition so strong that they seemed almost magical. Yet instead of clarity, they were met with uncertainty. They might have asked, "Why do I feel so different?" or "What am I supposed to do with my life?" But no answer ever seemed to come. This confusion is not a mistake, it is part of their journey. The confused chosen one must walk through the fog of uncertainty to develop patience, resilience, and trust in the unseen. Unlike others who may have a clear sense of direction from an early age, they must stumble through trial and error, searching for meaning in places that often seem empty. They may try different careers, join various communities, explore different beliefs, and still feel like they don't quite fit anywhere. But each experience, even the frustrating ones, adds another piece to their puzzle. One of the biggest struggles they face is the fear of wasting time. They see others confidently following paths, becoming doctors, artists, entrepreneurs, while they remain stuck in uncertainty. This can lead to self-doubt, frustration, and even moments of hopelessness. They may ask, "Why can't I figure this out?" Or "What if I never find my purpose?" But what they often fail to realize is that their wandering is not in vain. Every wrong turn, every mistake, every moment of doubt is shaping them into the person they are meant to be. Many confused chosen ones seek answers in spirituality, self-help books, or mentors who promise to reveal the secret to their destiny. Sometimes they find guidance that resonates, but other times they feel even more lost. The truth is, their purpose cannot be handed to them. It must be discovered through experience. And this discovery rarely comes in a single moment of enlightenment. Instead, it unfolds slowly, like pieces of a puzzle falling into place over time. Despite their uncertainty, the confused chosen one has a deep inner knowing that they are meant for something special. Even in their lowest moments, there is a small voice inside them that whispers, "Keep going." They may not know where they are going, but they sense that they must continue searching. This persistence is what sets them apart. While others may settle for a life of comfort and routine, the confused chosen one refuses to give up on the idea that there is something greater waiting for them. The world often misunderstands them. Friends and family may view them as indecisive or unrealistic. They may hear phrases like, "Just pick something and stick with it," or "You need to be more practical." But for them, choosing a path just for the sake of choosing would feel like a betrayal of their soul. They need to find something that truly aligns with who they are, and until they do, no amount of external pressure will force them into a life that doesn't feel right. Ironically, the confused chosen one is often much closer to their purpose than they realize, because they have spent so much time searching, questioning, and exploring. They have gained a depth of wisdom that many never achieve. They may not see it yet, but their experiences have given them unique perspectives, empathy, and a deep understanding of the world. They are not aimless wanderers, they are seekers, gathering knowledge and insights that will one day come together in a way that makes perfect sense. Some of the greatest thinkers, artists, and leaders in history were once confused chosen ones. They spent years feeling lost, doubting themselves and questioning everything, but in time, their struggles became their strengths. The confusion they once resented became the very thing that shaped their destiny. It was through their uncertainty that they learned to see the world differently, to think deeply, and to create things that changed lives. For those who feel like they are drifting without direction, know this: you are not lost. You are in the process of becoming. Every step, even the ones that feel like missteps, is leading you towards something greater. Trust that the confusion you feel now is not permanent. It is a chapter in your story, not the ending. At times, the confused chosen one may have moments of clarity, fleeting glimpses of the path ahead, only to feel lost again the next day. This is normal. Their journey is one of layers. Each layer peeled away reveals something deeper, something more profound. They may not have all the answers, but they are developing something far more valuable, an unshakable sense of self, forged through the fire of uncertainty. Often, their greatest breakthroughs come when they least expect them, perhaps in a quiet moment of reflection, during an unexpected conversation, or while facing a challenge they never anticipated. In these moments, pieces of the puzzle click into place, and suddenly things start to make sense. They realize that their journey was never about finding a simple answer, but about becoming the person capable of living their purpose fully. What's even more interesting is that the confused chosen one, in their search for clarity, often becomes a source of inspiration for others. They may not even realize it, but people watch them, admire their courage to keep searching, and find hope in their perseverance. Even in their confusion, they are fulfilling a divine role, reminding the world that purpose is not something found, but something created. Some may feel like their search will never end, that they will forever wander without finding their place. But history proves otherwise. Those who never stop seeking always find what they are looking for. It may not come in the form they expected, and it may take longer than they hoped. But when it finally arrives, they will understand that every step, every struggle, and every moment of doubt was necessary. And if you think being lost is tough, imagine what it's like to be free, but still searching for meaning. That's what we'll explore next, the free spirit, a chosen one who refuses to be tied down by rules and expectations. Don't miss it. 4. The free spirit. Some walk through life with an air of effortless freedom, as if they were never meant to be caged by the expectations of society. These are the free spirits, the chosen ones who embody movement, creativity, and the boundless potential of existence itself. Unlike those who feel the need to fit into predefined roles, the free spirit embraces the unknown, thriving in change and defying anything that attempts to confine them. From an early age, the free spirit feels a quiet but undeniable sense of detachment from the rigid rules and structures that seem to govern the world. While other children are praised for obedience and discipline, they are often drawn toward curiosity and adventure. They may find themselves questioning authority, resisting traditions, and pursuing paths that others consider impractical. Whether it's the child who prefers to paint outside the lines, the teenager who dreams of distant lands instead of stable careers, or the adult who refuses to settle into a conventional life, the free spirit is always searching for something greater than the ordinary. The essence of a free spirit is not just about rebellion or rejecting norms, it is about honoring their own truth above all else. They are the artists, the dreamers, the wanderers who remind the world that life is not meant to be lived in a straight line. While some may find comfort in routine, the free spirit finds meaning in experience. Their souls crave adventure, new perspectives, and the thrill of discovery. They are the ones who backpack across continents, who write poetry under the stars, who dance without caring who is watching. They seek out experiences that ignite their spirit rather than those that bring them material gain. However, walking the path of a free spirit is not without challenges. Society is built on expectations, career paths, marriage, stability, and predictability. When someone refuses to conform, they are often met with resistance. Friends and family may struggle to understand their choices, seeing them as reckless or irresponsible. The free spirit is frequently told to grow up, to settle down, to be realistic. But what others perceive as carelessness is, in truth, a deep commitment to authenticity. The free spirit would rather embrace uncertainty than live a life that does not feel like their own. Yet, even free spirits must learn to navigate the balance between freedom and responsibility. Their desire for spontaneity can sometimes lead to restlessness. They may drift from one place to another, one relationship to the next, always seeking something that seems just out of reach. At times, they may feel isolated, as if no one truly understands their need for boundless expression. But this is where their greatest strength lies, in realizing that their freedom is not a flaw, but a gift. By embracing who they are without shame, they inspire others to question their own limitations. History is filled with free spirits who have left a lasting impact on the world. great poets, musicians, and revolutionaries have all carried this energy, shaping movements and shifting paradigms simply by refusing to live within the lines drawn for them. Figures like Vincent van Gogh, who painted from his soul despite a world that failed to understand him, or Amelia Earhart, who defied expectations to chart her own course in the sky, embody the essence of the free spirit. These are the individuals who remind us all that life is meant to be felt deeply, not just survived. In many ways, the free spirit is also a healer. While they may not follow a structured path of service, their very presence brings light to those trapped in monotony. They remind people to laugh, to dream, to embrace the unexpected. Whether through music, art, or simple moments of kindness, they offer a glimpse into what life could be if only we allowed ourselves to truly live it. Their mission is not to preach or convert, but to exist unapologetically, serving as a beacon of possibility for those who have forgotten how to dream. Even spirituality, for the free spirit, is an exploration rather than a destination. While others may follow strict religious or philosophical doctrines, the free spirit gathers wisdom from many sources, weaving together a personal understanding of the divine. They may feel connected to nature, to energy, to intuition, finding the sacred in the rhythm of the waves or the whisper of the wind. To them, enlightenment is not found in a single book or belief system, but in the unfolding of life itself. One of the greatest lessons for a free spirit is learning that freedom does not mean isolation. Many free spirits, in their pursuit of unbounded existence, fear commitments and attachments, believing that they will be trapped. But true freedom is not about running, it is about choosing relationships that nurture rather than confine, choosing responsibilities that align with their truth, choosing to create a life that is both free and meaningful. When they understand this, they find that they can build something lasting without losing their essence. The free spirit is here to remind the world that life is a journey, not a destination. They teach us that joy is found not in reaching a specific goal, but in the experiences, the connections, and the moments along the way. They show us that love is not about possession, but about shared presence. They prove that success is not about status, but about fulfillment. And so, as they wander through life, the free spirit leaves behind a trail of inspiration. They may not always know where they are going, but they trust that the path will reveal itself. Their journey is one of trust, of surrender, of embracing the great unknown with open arms. But what happens when a free spirit's visions grow beyond personal freedom? When their dreams stretch toward shaping the world itself? That is when they step into the role of the visionary, someone who sees a future no one else can yet imagine. Stay with us as we explore the next kind of chosen one, the one who dares to turn dreams into reality. 5. The visionary. In every era, in every culture, and in every spiritual tradition, there have always been those who see beyond the ordinary. These are the visionaries, the ones who perceive a reality that others cannot yet grasp. They are the dreamers, the revolutionaries, the prophets, the inventors. They do not just see what is, they see what could be. But what makes a visionary different? Why do some people seem to have an innate ability to look beyond the present moment and into the future? It is not just about intelligence or imagination. The visionary possesses something deeper, a connection to a greater truth, a heightened awareness that allows them to glimpse possibilities beyond the limits of their time. A visionary does not always start as someone extraordinary. More often than not, they begin as ordinary individuals who experience a profound shift. Sometimes it is a moment of deep insight, a dream, a vision, an experience that shakes their perception of reality. Other times, it is a long and gradual process, shaped by experiences of struggle, curiosity, or faith. This moment of awakening is what separates them from the crowd. While most people live within the boundaries of what is familiar, the visionary is compelled to push past those boundaries. They cannot accept the status quo when they know something greater exists beyond it. Being able to see what others cannot is both a gift and a burden. Throughout history, many visionaries have faced rejection, doubt, and even persecution. The world is often resistant to change, and those who bring new ideas are frequently misunderstood. Many visionaries feel isolated because their ideas and perspectives set them apart. They may struggle to find people who truly understand their vision. When a visionary presents a new idea, they often encounter resistance. Others may call them foolish, unrealistic, or even dangerous. Even the most enlightened visionary faces moments of uncertainty. They may wonder if they are mistaken, if their dreams are illusions, if they are truly chosen for something greater. Yet despite these challenges, true visionaries persist. They do not allow rejection to define them. Instead, they use opposition as fuel, refining their vision and finding new ways to share it with the world. Not all visionaries are famous figures. Some live quiet lives, shaping the world in ways that may never be publicly recognized. Teachers who inspire students to think differently, artists who create works that awaken emotions, scientists who explore possibilities beyond current knowledge. Each of these individuals carries the visionary spirit. The modern world is filled with visionaries. Entrepreneurs who create solutions to global problems, activists who imagine a more just society, spiritual leaders who guide others to higher understanding, all of them see beyond the immediate and into the infinite. But visionary energy is not limited to specific professions or grand movements. Anyone can cultivate this ability. It begins with curiosity, with questioning, with the refusal to accept things simply because they have always been a certain way. It grows with courage, the willingness to act on insights, even in the face of uncertainty. If you feel the call of the visionary, how do you embrace it? Expand your awareness, read widely, explore new ideas, and expose yourself to different perspectives. Visionaries see what others miss because they seek knowledge beyond what is immediately available. Trust your intuition. Many visionaries experience moments of insight that defy logic. Learn to listen to your inner guidance, even if it does not always make immediate sense. Embrace solitude. Many visionaries need time alone to reflect and process their ideas. Do not fear moments of solitude. Use them to deepen your connection with your vision. Find a community. Though visionaries often feel isolated, they are not alone. Seek out like-minded individuals who understand your perspective and can support you on your journey. Take action. Vision without action remains a dream. Even small steps toward manifesting your ideas can make a difference in the world. The role of the visionary is not just to see, but to inspire others to see as well. True visionaries do not hoard their insights, they share them, illuminating paths that others might follow. They are beacons in the darkness, showing humanity what is possible when we dare to dream beyond what we know. Perhaps you have felt this calling within yourself. Perhaps you have ideas, dreams, and insights that others do not yet understand. If so, do not let fear or doubt hold you back. The world needs visionaries, those who can look beyond the present and shape a better future. To be a visionary is not always easy, but it is always worth it, because to see beyond is to remind the world that something greater is always possible. 6. The servant of light. In the great story of existence, some souls are called not to lead, not to command, but to serve. And yet, their service is not one of submission or weakness. It is a service born from strength, from an unshakable devotion to truth, love, and the higher good. These are the servants of light, those who dedicate themselves to bringing warmth, guidance, and healing into a world often lost in shadows. They do not seek recognition, yet their presence is felt in every act of kindness, in every moment where one soul lifts another. A servant of light does not choose their path lightly. It is not an easy road, for it demands sacrifice, patience, and an unwavering heart. These individuals often go unnoticed by the world, their efforts unseen by many. But they do not serve for applause. They serve because they cannot do otherwise. Their essence compels them to give, to nurture, to illuminate. When others turn away from suffering, they step forward. When darkness threatens to consume, they become the flame that resists. It is easy to mistake the servant of light for someone passive, someone who merely accepts life as it is. But this could not be further from the truth. Their service is a quiet revolution. They do not shout, but they transform. They do not conquer, but they heal. To be a servant of light is to embody love in action, to move through the world with the certainty that even the smallest act of goodness can ripple through eternity. Throughout history, the greatest figures of light have followed this path. Mother Teresa, who dedicated her life to the poor and the dying, once said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." Her entire existence was a testament to the power of serving selflessly, to finding divinity in the most humble acts. In Buddhism, the Bodhisattva embodies this ideal, choosing to delay their own enlightenment to assist all beings in their suffering. The servant of light walks in this same spirit, understanding that true purpose is found not in personal gain, but in uplifting others. Yet this path is not without its burdens. The world can be harsh to those who give too much. There are moments when the servant feels drained, when their light flickers in the face of exhaustion and doubt. They may question whether their efforts matter, whether their sacrifices are worth it. Consider the story of the Good Samaritan, who stopped to help a stranger when others ignored him. Kindness often comes at a cost, demanding time, energy, and emotional strength, but even in their moments of weariness, they continue. They draw strength not from external validation, but from the deep knowing that love, in any form, is never wasted. They are sustained by faith, not always in a religious sense, but in the fundamental belief that goodness is worth preserving, no matter the cost. The servant of light is found in many forms. They are the healers who ease suffering, the mentors who guide without seeking power, the protectors who stand against injustice, the quiet souls who bring comfort with a word or a simple act of kindness. Some are born into this role with an innate sense of purpose. Others are forged by pain, transformed by hardships that teach them the value of compassion. A single teacher who takes the time to nurture a struggling student, a nurse who works tirelessly to bring comfort to the sick, a stranger who offers a smile to someone in despair. All of these are acts of service that illuminate the world in unseen ways. Regardless of how they arrive at their calling, they all share one truth: their presence makes the world a brighter place. To walk this path is to understand that service is not about losing oneself, but about becoming more. It is about surrendering the ego to something greater, about being a vessel through which light flows freely. The Dalai Lama once said, "Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them." A servant of light embodies this wisdom, recognizing that even the smallest kindness has the potential to transform lives. And as they give, they too are given something priceless in return: the profound peace that comes from knowing they are fulfilling their purpose. Perhaps you have felt this calling within yourself. Perhaps you have found joy in lifting others, in being a source of warmth in a world that can often be cold. If so, embrace it. The world needs servants of light now more than ever. Your kindness is not weakness. Your compassion is not naivety. You are part of something greater, a force of love moving through time, shaping the world in ways seen and unseen. A single candle can light thousands more without diminishing its own flame. And though your journey may not always be easy, know this: the light you give will never be lost. But what happens when service is not enough? When the light you share must go beyond healing and into transformation? There are those who are not only called to serve, but to reshape the world entirely. Their path is one of fire and renewal, of tearing down the old to make way for something greater. If the servant of light nurtures and sustains, the transformer burns away the past to bring forth new beginnings. To understand this journey, we must look deeper into the path of the transformer. 7. The transformer. There are those who do not merely adapt to change, but become its very force. The transformer is an archetype of fire and renewal, of destruction and rebirth. Unlike the servant of light, who nurtures and sustains, or the protector of souls, who defends, the transformer tears down what no longer serves to make way for something greater. They are not bound by the past, but instead wield the power to reshape the present and redefine the future. Their purpose is clear: to break cycles, to dismantle illusions, to ignite the spark of evolution in individuals and society alike. Throughout history, the transformer has emerged in many forms. They are the revolutionaries who overthrow oppressive regimes, the thinkers who shatter outdated paradigms, the artists who redefine expression. Figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, who led a peaceful revolution against colonial rule, or Nikola Tesla, whose inventions reshaped the modern world, embody this archetype. The transformer is rarely understood in their time. Their actions often provoke resistance, for transformation threatens comfort, and not all are willing to embrace the unknown. The transformer is not necessarily one who seeks power, but one who is called to act by an unrelenting force within. They see what others refuse to acknowledge: systems that are broken, patterns that imprison, beliefs that stagnate. They do not seek to preserve, but to reform. In religious texts, this archetype appears time and time again. In Hinduism, Shiva, the god of destruction, is also the god of regeneration. He does not destroy out of malice, but to clear the way for rebirth. Similarly, in Christianity, John the Baptist called for the transformation of the soul through repentance, urging people to leave behind their old ways to embrace something higher. In Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama abandoned his royal life to seek enlightenment, challenging the very fabric of existence as he knew it. Yet, transformation is never without pain. The caterpillar must dissolve into formlessness before emerging as a butterfly. The forest must burn for new growth to arise. The transformer often faces exile, ridicule, and resistance. Consider the fate of Galileo Galilei, who was condemned for revealing the heliocentric nature of the solar system. His discoveries shook the foundations of belief, and for that, he suffered. But in time, truth prevailed. This is the path of the transformer, one that requires courage to endure the fire of opposition while holding firm to the vision of what must come next. In the modern world, the transformer takes many forms. They are the whistleblowers who expose corruption, the innovators who disrupt industries, the spiritual guides who help others break free from limiting beliefs. They challenge norms, question authority, and refuse to accept the way things have always been. Their actions ripple outward, creating waves of change that, at first, may seem small but eventually reshape entire landscapes. Take the example of Elon Musk, who envisions a world beyond Earth, or Greta Thunberg, who demands environmental transformation. Whether one agrees with their methods or not, the impact of their work cannot be denied. But the transformer does not act for glory. Their reward is not found in praise, but in the knowledge that they have set something new into motion. However, this path is not without risk. The transformer can become consumed by their own fire, burning too quickly, destroying without rebuilding. If unchecked, transformation can become chaos. Revolution can spiral into destruction. The true transformer understands balance, the need to create, not just dismantle. Their goal is not endless upheaval, but purposeful evolution. To walk the path of the transformer is to embrace the discomfort of change. It is to trust that even when the old is crumbling, something better can emerge. It is to be fearless in the face of opposition, yet wise enough to know when to build rather than burn. Those who feel this calling must remember that transformation is a cycle. There will be moments of destruction, but also moments of creation, of rebirth, of renewal. Perhaps you have felt the stirrings of this archetype within yourself, a dissatisfaction with the status quo, a vision of something greater, an unwillingness to accept things as they are. If so, know that the world needs transformers. It needs those who are willing to challenge, to question, to create. But transformation is not for the faint of heart. It demands sacrifice, resilience, and an unshakable belief in the possibility of something better. The question is not whether transformation will come. It is inevitable. The question is whether you will be the one to shape it. And if you choose to walk this path, know that you do not walk it alone. Throughout history, countless souls have embraced this fire, have dared to break free from the past to build a future yet unseen. Will you be one of them? And what happens when transformation is complete? When the fire has burned and the new has emerged? There are those who do not simply create change, but who become its living embodiment. They walk through life as a bridge between the old and the new, balancing destruction with wisdom. 8. The protector of souls. There are those whose purpose is not only to heal or transform, but to shield and defend. They are the guardians of the spirit, the warriors of light who stand against the forces that seek to corrupt or destroy. The protector of souls is a soul called to vigilance, to unwavering strength in the face of darkness. They do not merely observe suffering, they prevent it. They do not simply console, they intervene. Their duty is to stand between harm and the innocent, between the shadows and those who cannot yet find their own light. The protector of souls manifests in many forms. They are the parents who shield their children from danger, the leaders who defend the rights of the oppressed, the spiritual warriors who protect sacred wisdom from those who would use it for destruction. In mythology and history, they are figures like Archangel Michael, wielding a sword of divine justice, or the samurai, bound by honor to protect those who cannot protect themselves. In modern times, they are those who speak against injustice, who shelter the weak, who dedicate their lives to defending what is sacred. One of the clearest examples of this archetype is seen in the firefighters who run into burning buildings to save lives, putting their own safety at risk for the sake of others. They do not hesitate, for their mission is clear: to protect, to rescue, to ensure that no life is lost if they can prevent it. Similarly, social activists such as Martin Luther King Jr. or Malala Yousafzai have stepped into the line of fire to protect the dignity and rights of others, embodying the spirit of the protector. But to be a protector is not without hardship. This path demands resilience, for to face darkness is to be tested by it. Many protectors carry wounds, scars from battles fought in silence. Consider the soldiers who return from war, forever changed by what they have witnessed, or the humanitarian workers who have seen suffering beyond imagination. They understand that to guard others is to make themselves a target. They sacrifice comfort for duty, personal desires for the greater good. And yet, they persist, not out of obligation, but because their very soul calls them to this role. In ancient texts and traditions, the role of the protector is often tied to sacred vows. The Knights Templar, for example, took an oath to defend pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. The Shaolin monks of China trained in both physical and spiritual disciplines, ensuring they could protect not just themselves, but also the teachings of their ancestors. Even in Hindu mythology, Lord Vishnu is revered as the divine protector, descending to earth in various forms to restore balance and guard the righteous against evil forces. The protector of souls is not always a warrior in the traditional sense. Some protect through wisdom, like the elders who pass down sacred knowledge to preserve their culture. Others guard through compassion, such as the therapists and counselors who protect people from the weight of their own minds. Even within families, there are protectors. Those who shield their loved ones from harm, who stand firm when others waver. Every person who defends another, who refuses to let darkness take hold, embodies this archetype. Yet, the burden of this path is heavy. Protectors often wrestle with doubt and exhaustion. They question whether their efforts truly matter, whether they can continue to stand against the relentless tide of adversity. But it is in these moments of struggle that their purpose becomes clearest. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing, wrote Burke. A protector understands that inaction is not an option. They may grow weary, but they do not surrender. To embrace this archetype is to accept the weight of responsibility. It is to know that the fight for goodness is never ending, but also that it is worth every battle. The protector of souls does not seek reward or recognition. Their strength comes from the knowledge that as long as they stand, the light will never be fully extinguished. And for those who walk this path, they know one truth above all: there is no greater honor than to safeguard the souls of others. But what happens when protection is not enough, when the fight must move beyond defense and into transformation? There are those who are not only called to shield, but to change the very fabric of existence itself. To truly reshape the world, one must become the transformer. 9. The bridge between worlds. There are those who do not fully belong to one world or another, but instead exist as a link between them. These souls are known as the bridge between worlds, those who move fluidly between realities, perspectives, and dimensions of understanding. They are interpreters, messengers, and guides, ensuring that knowledge, wisdom, and truth flow seamlessly across borders, whether those borders are cultural, spiritual, or cosmic. The bridge between worlds has always existed. In ancient times, they were the shamans who traveled between the physical and the spirit realm, bringing back insights from the unseen. They were the diplomats who ensured peace between warring nations, the translators who carried the wisdom of one civilization to another. In mythology, figures like Hermes, the messenger of the gods, and Odin, who hung from the world tree to gain the knowledge of the runes, embodied this archetype. They did not belong entirely to one realm, but instead navigated the in-between, existing as conduits of transformation. To be the bridge between worlds is both a gift and a burden. They are often misunderstood, for they see truths that others do not. They feel at home nowhere and everywhere at once, carrying a deep longing to unify what is divided. This longing compels them to act, to translate, to heal, to build connections where others see only separation. But this role can be isolating, as they frequently find themselves caught between opposing forces, neither fully belonging to one nor the other. They must learn to carry this weight with grace, knowing that their purpose is not to choose a side, but to create understanding between them. In the modern world, the bridge between worlds manifests in many ways. They are the scientists who merge spirituality with quantum mechanics, the artists who blend cultural traditions to create something new, the leaders who break down barriers of race, religion, and ideology. They are those who see beyond duality, who understand that truth is not found in rigid extremes, but in the space where opposites meet. Figures like Carl Jung, who integrated Eastern and Western thought into his psychology, or Malala Yousafzai, who acts as a voice for both modern education and traditional values, embody this archetype. One of the greatest challenges of the bridge between worlds is learning to exist in the liminal space without losing themselves. It is easy to be pulled too far in one direction, to become lost in one reality and forget the purpose of uniting them. Many who walk this path struggle with identity, feeling as though they must constantly shift to fit the expectations of those they connect. But the true mastery of this archetype lies in the ability to remain rooted in their own essence while moving freely between realms. The bridge between worlds does not seek to destroy or replace, but to harmonize. They do not demand that one perspective be abandoned in favor of another, but instead show how each holds a piece of the greater truth. They remind us that division is an illusion, that wisdom is found in the fusion of ideas rather than their separation. They are the voices that echo across time and space, reminding humanity that we are all connected, that our differences are merely variations of the same fundamental unity. To walk this path is to embrace paradox. It is to be both grounded and ethereal, both rational and intuitive, both a part of the world and beyond it. It is to serve as a bridge not just for others, but for oneself, integrating all aspects of existence into a cohesive whole. This is no easy task, but it is a necessary one, for in a world increasingly fragmented, the bridge between worlds is more vital than ever. Perhaps you have felt this calling within yourself, a pull toward multiple cultures, multiple ways of thinking, a sense that you do not fully belong to one reality, but instead act as a link between them. If so, embrace it. The world needs those who can weave together the strands of existence, who can see beyond the illusion of separation and remind us of our shared humanity. Your role is not always easy, but it is essential. You are the bridge, the pathway, the connection, and through you, understanding, wisdom, and unity can flow. But what happens when bridging worlds is not enough? When the connection has been established, something greater must emerge. There are those who not only link realities, but forge entirely new ones, who take the threads of the old and weave them into something never seen before. The journey through these archetypes has revealed a profound truth. Each of us carries a unique role in the unfolding story of existence. Whether as a servant of light, a protector of souls, a transformer, or a bridge between worlds, these paths guide us toward our highest purpose. They remind us that within every act of service, every moment of transformation, and every bridge built between worlds, we are shaping the destiny of humanity itself. To embody these archetypes is to embrace the sacred responsibility of being a force of change, healing, and unity. The world is constantly evolving, and with it, so must we. There is no single way to fulfill one's purpose, no rigid path to enlightenment, only the willingness to listen to the calling within and follow where it leads. Some will serve in quiet ways, offering light in the darkness without seeking recognition. Others will stand as warriors, protecting what is sacred with unyielding strength. Some will tear down what no longer serves, while others will build bridges where division once ruled. And some will dream entirely new realities into existence, shaping the world not as it is, but as it could be. Wherever you find yourself in this great journey, know that your path is necessary. You are a vital part of the greater whole, a thread in the vast existence. Walk forward with courage, knowing that through your choices, your actions, and your purpose, you are leaving an indelible mark on the world. The story is still unfolding, and you are one of its authors. The question is not whether you have a role to play, but how you will choose to embrace it. Until next time, take care, trust in your path, and remember, your purpose is to continue on the path despite the difficulties that arise. These difficulties only serve to reaffirm you on your spiritual path. Stay strong, be faithful, and keep shining. You are one of God's chosen ones, and as such, your mission with any of the archetypes is to bring more self-knowledge to your life to help others.